Hi, today pushing myself to be unconditional and not have any secret agenda or final points that I want to make by the end of this vlog to stop that immediately. What is there to talk about? With regard to self-forgiveness, I am approaching seeing within myself at a certain depth, that depth of perception within myself as how deeply I can see into the motivations of my actions, my individual actions. I'm starting to get into the lessons that have to be learned as my resonance are reacting very strongly to seeing what I see currently in my process of radical self-forgiveness applied in every moment, and to push to self-forgive in every moment, no matter what it presents. So the first resistance I faced within applying self-forgiveness is seeing myself wanting to be, and still accepting and allowing the point of wanting to be righteous and always come out at the top verbally, to always be the most well-spoken and dominant alpha male behavior, especially when discussing somewhat intellectual or academic or philosophical points. I can see why I would not like to see that as a personality. I, as a personality, relied heavily on this righteousness point to compensate for my inner sense of inferiority, the hidden but very dominant belief that I was never good enough and I will never be good enough. Anything else? Also, just beginning to understand in practical living action what it means actually to forgive another person's actions as I would forgive myself. It's easy to speak those combinations of words. It's another matter entirely to actually live those words, to actually forgive another person as I would myself. And this point revealed itself to me today when I went to the Christian youth group that I participated in and continuing to participate in. And as I hear these discussions and hearing these worship songs about God and Jesus, I see in the words much room for misinterpretation, or rather a lot of room for alternative views on the word God, for example, or Satan, or sin. These words, I find that because Christianity and God and Jesus are perceived to be holy and somewhat untouchable, almighty, most superior, I see many people in this Christian youth group using that idea as justification not to define the words they use so often, like God and sin and evil, and practical examples of what evil things are, and the guidelines for determining whether a thing is evil or good. And in seeing that, at first in my mind, I judged them harshly. I identified with the thought, why don't they see that by not defining their words, they can twist a single sentence to whatever meaning they would like it to mean, instead of seeing what it actually means and how they can help themselves with whatever statement they are using or supporting. And in pushing myself, first, in directing myself to apply self-forgiveness for judging those people so harshly and not forgiving them as I would forgive myself, I faced intense resistance because I, as my resonance, my personality, relied heavily on this point of judging others to derive a sense of self-worth. So I had to push myself to self-forgive. And then I came across the point of not forgiving myself for committing such an accepted and allowed atrocity, which does not benefit anyone at all, and in fact harms both parties involved, other people and myself. The statement, "Judge not, yet lest ye be judged," it is true, yet I have not lived the lesson behind that statement yet, which is to never judge myself or other people. So it took some time to self-forgive that point. And in sharing that, I just wanted to share my experience of the resistances that one would most likely face, and present how I, as a person, dealt with that point accordingly. Anything else? No? More pushing for consistent, constant, eternal application of self-forgiveness. Still pushing that point. Thank you for watching.